Hey guys, how's it going? Crypto Rick here, and today I am proud to be sitting with David and Matt. David Chin is the CEO, and Matt is the CTO of Thor. So welcome guys. Thank you guys very much for joining the channel today. I do appreciate it.
Thanks for having us on.
It's great. Thank you.
So I wanted to first, give everybody a chance to understand what Thor is. So before we get into any real questions, I've had the opportunity to take a look at the project, so I'm pretty comfortable with it. But I know a lot of my viewers out there may be hearing about Thor for the first time. So in your own words, can you just kind of summarize, what is Thor?
Thor was spun up to solve the problem that the gig economy created. So what we are able to do is provide tools for on-demand companies to be able to onboard, to be able to acquire, manage, and pay contractors. And we also help the contractors themselves by giving them access to healthcare, giving them some of the tools and benefits that they don't have as an independent contractor.
Nice. Yeah, that's, one of the things that I've done. I've worked with large companies in the past, and, being in marketing and a contractor for many of them, I know how those 1099s and things like that can be. And sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. And you're like, well, what am I going to do here? I need to file it on my end. So it gets very tricky. So that's
the thing is that we used to have this, and we used to call it temping, right? But now it's pretty much basically a business model that the transition from W-2 to 1099, it helps companies. And a small company, a company that you might have heard of, Google, and its parent company, Alphabet now, actually reported in May of this year through Bloomberg that it has more contractors than employees. So you can see that is not something that's going to go away. 34% of our workforce today are contractors, and it's scheduled to be about 45% by the year 2020. So it's something that we need to address. That issue it's here, and it's going to be bigger as we move forward.
Nice. So while I was looking on the website and researching the project, I saw that you guys just recently launched the new product, right? The name of it, I believe, was Odin, right? So could you just tell me a little bit about what Odin does and how it works?
Odin is going to be the tool for general managers that deal with 1099 contractors. We're here to optimize the 1099 workforce, and Odin is the tool that's going to do it. So whether it's managing contractors, acquiring and onboarding them, or paying them, the general manager will be able to do all of that in Odin.
Nice. I think that's going to be a huge help, right? Because part of the 1099 process is the tracking and reporting and management of all the different contractors. And, some companies such as Google have all the resources in place to easily manage that. But, a company with 5 employees may not be as well equipped. So having something that's, secure, reliable, and user-friendly is a huge win for those companies out there. So I can definitely see the need.
This 1099 workforce has really sprung up on a lot of companies, and we've talked to many companies. We've interviewed them. We've had focus groups. Many companies are still managing their 1099 workforce via email and spreadsheets, and that's just not workable. For example, even a company as large as we mentioned before, Amazon has 120,000 contractors. And by definition, contractors come and go, right? It's flexible, it's fluid. And so the old way, the traditional way of managing them through the HR department is not a workable solution going forward. So there has to be new technology, new flow that we built to help companies do that.
Nice. And then one thing that really jumped out at me, because, being a contractor has its perks, its advantages, and things of that nature. I can attest to both sides. It helps the businesses, and it gives the individuals a little bit more flexibility and freedom, and not having the boss breathing over your neck every 10 minutes. But one of the downfalls to it in this day and age has been the healthcare option. So I've been seeing how you're saying you plan to be able to bring affordable healthcare to the gig economy, and so that's really interesting to me. So what's the plan there, and how's that going?
Yeah, so what we're doing this year is, we have a crawl, walk, run model.
Okay.
So the crawl is providing access. So we've done a lot of research. We've been figuring out how are we going to provide affordable rates? I mean, there are large players in this space that have been looking at this for years and years, and so it's really a hard problem to solve. Once you start digging into healthcare, you start realizing that they have these paradigms, these boxes that they draw around every part of the process, and you need to fit into the box. And so as a startup that's trying to create something innovative and new, it's been fun to sort through all those problems. This year, we're providing access. So In-Group Health, the site that you're directed to if you go to get a plan, will help provide you individual plans.
Okay.
From there, we're going to start spinning up a group plan for people that, you start getting Costco level prices for, a good amount of coverage. The way that we're doing that is we're talking to associations here in the city and with our top 5 law firm in the country, Goodwin, to figure out what is the best way to spin up an association for our contractors. We need to get this together so that health insurance companies will insure this group. And so for next year, the roadmap is to provide that first group plan for gig economy workers, which is something that many companies are not even looking into. And to be honest, the big healthcare companies in this country are making a ton of money, and they're not interested in this very much either. And so to do this is going to be a big challenge.
For example, the average savings from an individual plan to a business group plan, the average is like 18%. So for every $100, you put $18 back in your pocket. It's not so bad. And Dr. Bethune, who is on our advisory board, who was the president and managed Kaiser in San Francisco, would argue that our population, the contractor population, is actually much healthier because they're active, they're out, they're hustling, they're not sitting watching TV. So he would argue that we should probably have a better discount or a reduction in terms of the premium. So that's the direction that we're going in. Today you have access. Tomorrow we have affordable, right? So we're going to keep working at that until we can get it way down where it helps the contractor immensely.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, that sounds great. Like I said, I've been on both sides of that. I worked with a very, very large company where we had contractors, and I've been on the contracting end of it here lately as well. So it's been a real eye opener for me to see both sides. And then that's been my largest struggle was, I have a wife and 3 kids that when I stepped to crypto full time, one of the things I didn't really think about but needed to real quick was the health insurance. And I kind of took it for granted being part of a very, very large company who took care of us benefits wise, and seeing, wow, this is insane, the amount of money that's going out just for healthcare. So something like this, I mean, there's contractors of all different levels, right? There's $1 million contractors, and then there's contractors that are just looking for jobs to put food on the table. And then to think about how much they have to pay for health insurance for their family, it's a huge problem that I see. And I'm glad that people like yourself are going out there and looking for solutions to this problem to try to help people, because they don't know where to begin. And like you said, the insurance companies aren't looking to proactively offer discounts. Why would they, right? It doesn't make sense.
Well, here's the thing is that initially we have a focus on helping contractors. That's really what we're started up to do. But we truly think that in the future, as more people have the freedom to be a contractor and have protection in terms of healthcare, we think that the economy will really accelerate because people won't have to stay in a position that they, not 100% satisfied with. So if they can be flexible, if they can really unleash their strength and their creativity, we think that there'll be an acceleration in the economy in terms of the GDP because people will just be that much more productive.
Yeah, when you have to hunt and hustle for your money, it's amazing how much harder you work than when you're getting paid for your 40 hours, no matter what you're doing at the computer, right? And I'm like, man, I'm working way harder now than I was before. That's the reality of it. So
entrepreneurship.
I can see that happening.
But the reality is that studies, and we've talked with folks in terms of contracting, they're actually happier because they're in control of their lives, when they can come, what they can do. And as you say, most people are more productive. They actually do more. They're actually more creative. They're actually, doing more things that'll really, help themselves and help their family as necessary.
Absolutely. And then so, being the crypto guy that I am, I have to ask the question, you guys are tokenizing this. So where does the token fit into your vision?
So as we're building this company, we are in Silicon Valley, and so we're no stranger to technology. I built the ad server on NewYorkTimes.com. I built the A/B testing program for CNN. And so really, we're always like, what's the best technology to solve our problems? And for the utility of paying for services, these utility tokens that are coming out are really, really powerful. You have the ability to buy into a network before some of the products are released. And so you can buy this token in advance of, knowing that this company is going to achieve some of its vision, right? And so as we spun up last March in our token sale, we've been talking about what we're going to build. Odin, we just launched, we were talking about it back in the spring. The healthcare plan, we were talking about that, but we're going along. And so this token, what it's going to do is it's going to allow people to buy into our services before we launch them. And then as we go along, be able to buy up the amount of tokens that they think is necessary to then provide for the future, right? So if they wanted to buy a year's, 2 years, 3 years worth of healthcare plans, they could buy that with Thor token going forward. Some of the SaaS companies that's going to be using Odin for 1099 forms, payments, different managing. There's going to be fees with all of those features, with all those functionalities, and so the companies are going to be able to use Thor token to then pay for all those features and functionalities.
Nice. Yeah, I love the fact that we're in this world of the blockchain technology where nearly everything can be tokenized if it's done properly, right? There's a couple different schools of thought with this, and there's some, I guess you can call them blockchain purists out there that are like, unless you're going anti-government, you don't need a token and all of that nonsense. But I'm all about mass adoption. That's all I care about. Is I want more people using crypto today than that were using it yesterday. If I can do my part in that by bringing one more person every single day on board, whether they know it's crypto or not, that's where I see the value, and that's where I see mass adoption taking place. Isn't trying to nitpick who should use a token, who shouldn't use a token. I think every company should have a token. I think every single company should have a token. You can utilize blockchain technology in some ways in your business, and if everybody has loyalty reward points and all of these other things that would be much more efficient if they tokenized it. So let's go, guys. Let's jump onto this mass adoption train. So I absolutely love the real world use case, and when we have ecosystems like the one that you described that are centered around these tokens, that's where the real value comes in. As we were talking about off camera, there's so many top cryptocurrencies out there that have no use right now. Just you can trade them on an exchange, but that's about it. That's the only use. There's no project, there's no product yet. They have visions, and if they can come out and tokenize, then why can't an established company do the same, right? So I'm all on board with that.
A survey was done where it shows that only 30 out of the top 100 tokens on the coin market cap actually have product. And we have actually launched a product, and we're moving big boulders, right? We're addressing payments, we're addressing healthcare, we're addressing the way you get paid. So who doesn't need that, right? You want to get paid, you want to get paid fast, you want to get paid accurately. You need healthcare. That's a national discussion. If you ever turn on a TV or listen to the news, healthcare is a big issue. So these are some of the things that we think have real world applications, as you described, and people will use it. And if more people use it, the tokens will be that much more valuable, and so it's good for everybody, right? It validates that the token model works, and how it can address real live issues.
Yeah, we tend to think we're a little more grounded in reality than a lot of blockchain projects, and that is because we're actually launching products and things like that. The reality is that blockchain is another technology. And so as a technologist that loves technology, I had my first computer that I built at 12 years old, right? All of these things are tools to build companies, right? To build things that better humanity, that are better forms of, tools that we used to use, better wrench, right? And so, blockchain is the better form of exchanging value, right? And so that's the start with Thor. There's going to be other things that we put on blockchain, right? I think that digital identity is going to be huge. I think that the ability to pay people internationally is definitely going to live in blockchain land. And so if you read our white paper, you can see that our goal is to start here, build a real product, build a real base, and then expand internationally. And so this is where we're starting with the token. But later on, right, I really think this decentralized, company is going to take place over the next 10 years. A quote that I really love is that people tend to underestimate what a company can do in 10 years and overestimate what a company can do in one.
Yeah.
And I definitely think that's the case with the blockchain ecosystem.
Yeah, and I think you're right there with it. I mean, everybody that I know that's not into Bitcoin and blockchain and in crypto at all, they're asking me why I'm still in it. Oh, isn't it over? I'm like, over? It
just started.
It hasn't even started yet. We're in the net zero days right now. AOL hasn't even come out to our blockchain. So we are in the baby stages, and everybody tries to refer to the price quote unquote crash. But I said, yeah, it's a crash in 6 months. But for anybody who's been in this for a long time, it hasn't crashed. Let me tell you, yeah, we saw some crazy highs, which was awesome, but we kind of normalized a little bit. And as you can tell by the stability lately in Bitcoin itself, this is the healthy range that we probably should have been all of last year. The $20,000 was a lot of hype, a lot of media buzz, and a lot of uninformed investors dumping money that they probably shouldn't have been dumping in with little to no research. And they're the ones, unfortunately, that did take a hit, but they only take a hit if they sold. Right, that's what I always say. I haven't lost anything because I didn't sell during this thing.
So we're in the business of helping people to leveraging the blockchain, right? So there are a lot of people that you just described. They were looking for the moon boys. When Lambo? When's my one token going to be $1,000? Yeah. That's good. That's all well and good, right? And that piece needs to be there so that it incentivizes people to be in blockchain and to be in crypto. But in terms of what we're doing well by doing good, right? We're helping people get paid fast or accurately and in a timely manner. And we talk with people that says, hey, if I can get paid on a regular basis, if I can get paid fast, it's like I'm getting paid more because I don't have to worry, right, about when I'm going to get my money, and I don't have to take that paycheck and go to if I don't have money, I don't need to go to a payday loan, right? Yeah. If they can get paid faster and they can get it on a debit card that we will provide, then it only helps that much, help that many more people get their money, what they earn, quickly.
Yeah, and as the saying goes, time is money. So if I don't have to spend time away from my family to chase down my money, it's like making more money, because the time with them is more precious than those dollars. But unfortunately, for the time with them, I do need those dollars.
Exactly. We've heard stories where people go, they're waiting 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, and they don't even know where, right? They're calling. That's just wears on you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's mentally exhausting, right? Having to chase people around all the time. So speaking of chasing people around, I think that people might want to chase you around. I hear that you're going to be speaking at a conference next month. Is that correct?
Actually, it's the end of this month. So it's the end of November, the 29th. If you're in the Santa Clara convention area, please come by. We're going to be talking about the blockchain and how Thor is spinning up, and also addressing the issue of the idea of having customers, the idea of having a reality-based project. So those are some of the things that we're going to be addressing at the conference.
That's cool. So yeah, so guys, if you want to see him speak about more in depth about Thor, more in depth about utilization of the blockchain, I'll put a link below to the Santa Clara conference. That way, you guys can look there, get your tickets, get the details, and plan accordingly. Because I personally enjoy those conferences. I mean, meeting the crypto community is something special to me. It's such a close-knit community, and everybody is there for the right reasons for the most part. And it's been an absolute blast for me to go to these events.
It's been advertised as the largest blockchain conference in North America. They're expecting 12,000 people. So come on by, meet people, get into one of the sessions, learn more about blockchain and the projects that are ongoing.
Yeah, 12,000 people, that's a lot. I recently went to CIS in LA, and I had a lot of buddies go to World CryptoCon. That seemed to be where all the YouTubers went here because it's Vegas. Of course, they want to go party in Vegas, right? So, yeah, I mean, that's amazing because that's about 2 or 3 times the size of those events at 12,000 as the magic number. So that's no small event, ladies and gentlemen. So if you've never been to a conference and you can make it to this one, I would highly suggest booking yourself the ticket. And if you're going, you might as well watch David speak, right, and get a little insight onto this project that you're already learning about here today.
I'd love to meet you there in person. Afterwards, we can you can ask me questions and we can chat a little bit about where blockchain may be headed.
I like it. I like it. And then also, I had a question, right? You mentioned the Moon Boys. So there's a lot of the moon, when Lambo, when this, when that. But are you guys currently listed on any exchanges?
We are. So we were recently listed on the Aphelion exchange. So, you know, if you like what we're doing, you like our story, read our white paper, do your own research. Yeah. But if you like all those things, you can go get some Thor on that exchange. So.
Nice. Cool. So what I'll do, guys, is I'll find the link to the Thor trading on there as well. I'll throw that in the description in case anybody wants to check it out. But as always, like they said, do your own research, guys. Nobody's going to sit here and tell you it's going to be $1 million token tomorrow. That's not what we do. What we do want to do on this channel, as always, is bring opportunities in projects that are utilizing the blockchain and that have a real mission and a real vision and a real team that's willing to sit here, or should I say stand here, and talk to us about the project, right? Because I've turned so many reviews and interviews down for projects that I just simply can't get behind. So seeing projects that are hitting milestones and doing what they're promising is a huge, huge impact for me. And that's why I was happy to sit with you guys and talk about this project, because I've seen that you're hitting milestones. I see you have a real team in place with a solid resume to back you up, and it's nothing but impressive. So before I let you guys go, I want to give you the floor, okay? I have asked a few questions, but I want to give you guys some time. For everybody out there, what's next? What's next with Thor? What are your future plans, whether it's 6 months or 6 years down the line?
We have a lot of exciting things. We think we hit those milestones, the 4 pillars of traction, which are product, including customers, including marketplace match, and then also revenues. We've hit those important milestones. The other thing is we're going to continue to do things that'll launch Thor to the stratosphere, right? The idea of adding more feature functionality, getting more customers. We're actually forming nice partnerships. That's another way that we're expanding our reach. And so look for us in terms of interesting healthcare, how we are spinning that up in terms of associated healthcare. We've got a lot of fun things coming up.
And as the gig economy continues to grow, right? As it continues to be a bigger percentage of what people are doing, Thor is going to become more and more important as time goes along in that way too. So be on the lookout. We may be the healthcare solution that you need down the road. We may be the payment solution you need down the road. And so stay in tune. GoThor.com.
We want people to think of, when they get their paycheck today as a W-2, as an employee of a company, yep. You automatically think of like a company like ADP or Paychex. Yeah. As we roll forward, we want, when people think about contractors, management, and pay, we want them to think of Thor, because that's who we are. We're going to be the 1099 experts.
I love it. Well, you guys seem like you're well on your way to doing that, right? So keep doing what you're doing. I love what I'm seeing with the project. I'm sure people watching this interview are going to be much more intrigued right now because, again, the 4 pillars look like they've been attained. So now it's a matter of continuing to execute on the plan. And, like I said before, looking into your team, you guys have the team that I feel confident that can go out there and execute. So thank you guys very, very much for joining me today. David, thank you very much, Mark. Matt. I appreciate everything with you guys. It's been an absolute blast talking to you guys, learning about Thor, and I'm sure many, many more big things are coming.
It's been great being on your show, Rick. Thank you for having us on.
Thank you very much.
Have a good one.